Hey guys, it's Monday afternoon. I have a little break here in between clients. And hey there, Liz Clark. How are you? So glad to see you this afternoon. I was just saying that I have a little break in between clients, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about manifesting and intention setting and what that actually is and why it's important and why we want to do that and all that jazz. Liz, I'm so happy to see you're here. Jenny, it's nice to see you as well. Welcome to this afternoon's scope. And so let's talk a little bit about intention setting and manifesting. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jen Moff. I'm a coach, a healer, and a professional speaker that focuses on spirituality, relationships, and conscious living. So, I run a Facebook group called the Conscious Living Community, and the Monday post is dedicated to manifestation and making magic. And before I really explained it in the group, I found that a lot of people just thought it was, what is your to-do list for the week? And I had to explicitly say, no, that's not what it is. This is not about you saying, okay, well, here's my important task list for the week. That's not what that is. In fact, we have a separate day for that. I wanted to delve into a little bit about why it's important to have a distinction between those two things, between a to-do list, action steps, and then also have intention setting, affirmations, manifesting focus. So to-do lists are very action oriented. They are obviously like very concrete, tactical, tangible, grounded things. And for example, you might find on a to-do list, clean the house, vacuum, do laundry, go to the grocery store. And then, from the grocery store, you have a separate list of like things to get. So it's very concrete, very grounded. And it's always action-based. Pay bills. So you'll notice that there's always a verb with the to-do list. Question from Stephanie. So you're saying that you need a general focus or direct focus? Not star. I don't know why I said Stephanie. Star. It disappeared in the middle of my talking. Forgive me, Star. I'm just going to call you Star. Hi, Star. I'm explaining the difference right now between to-do lists and action steps versus manifesting, affirmations, and intention setting. So right now we're talking about to-do lists and how they're very masculine oriented energetically because they're based in doing. They're based in action. They're very grounded. It's very tactile. It's conquer, go, brr. Yeah. Even if it's not like an aggressive thing, like going to the grocery store, you don't go to the grocery store aggressively. Some people might, but I don't. So that's what to-do lists are. They're focused very much in masculine energy. Intention setting, manifestation, affirmations, that's focused in feminine energy. And just to clarify a little bit, when I say masculine and feminine energy, I don't mean to say men do these things versus women. It's a way to classify types of ways of being and doing things in our world. And they exist in both men and women. So it's not that masculine energy is just for men and feminine energy is just for women. If you look at them like a pie chart or on a continuum, there's different amounts of each one that each person embodies. Hey there, everybody that's new and joining. Glad you guys are here and hanging with me today. We're talking a little bit right now about intention setting and manifestation versus to-do lists, and how to understand the root of them, where they come from, the difference between the two, and why we want to understand manifestation and intention setting so that it can work for us. So the premise of intention setting is that we have a opportunity to engage in the being part of ourselves, the feminine energy. And the purpose of that is so that we can become whole. Wholeness exists when we have an equal balance of many aspects of ourselves, and in this case it's in the terms of masculine and feminine energy. So for those of you guys that are just joining, we've already talked about intention setting and the difference between it and to-do lists. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about intention setting and what that is, what it looks like. So an intention is not as firm as a to-do list. And what I mean by that is we set an idea. It's much more abstract. So an example of intentions would be is to say, I set the intention to forgive myself and others. And the structure of that sentence, you can see, is a lot more ambiguous. There's not a lot of tactical, tangible, go, do, be, conquer kind of masculine energy, because it, forgiveness is a lot more abstract of an idea. So you really have to be with it rather than do. You can't conquer forgiveness. That's why it's one of those things we all struggle with. Another example of an intention would be is I accept myself with love completely and totally. So you can see that some of the language is even different than go to the grocery store, pay bills. So it's more about yourself versus the to-do lists that are focused on things outside of you. Okay? And we can't constantly live in a space where all we do is that masculine energy, because we will burn out. We will exhaust ourselves, and that's going to eventually catch up with us. So intention setting is something that we can do once a week, every morning, monthly. It's up to you how you want to have a routine with it. I personally like to do it a couple of different ways. So every week on Mondays, I set an intention for myself for the week. And I don't try really hard to make it happen, so to speak. I just kind of, after my sacred practice in the morning, spend some time in some breath work, and then just whatever kind of bubbles up for me, that's what I write down. And it's really important to write down intentions, because just like when you're in school and you had to take notes, there's something between the brain and the hand when we write things down that helps to make it real, because we're getting it outside of our head. So maybe we write it, maybe we say it, maybe it's on a little sticky note in the bathroom so we see it every morning just to remind ourselves, just something to keep it front of mind. And when we release that without holding on to it and having expectations, it really gives whatever language you're comfortable with, God, the universe, the divine, whatever your personal identification is with that higher power, a chance to kind of work with you, because there's definitely a connection between free will and divine order. So this is your way to work on your own wholeness. and to partner with your higher power to make sure that you're creating a life that is one of your choosing. And I've got a question here. What is divine order? The way that I would explain divine order is that it's a way you can look at the world. It's a worldview. And if you happen to be a spiritual person like myself, then you believe that, and you know, everybody's, I mean, when I say spiritual person, I don't mean like you automatically think exactly what I think, because there's so many nuances and complexities. But divine order has to do with your overall worldview as to how life works, and in partnership with God, with Allah, with Buddha, with tree, whatever it is that you look at and you see as your higher power. Another term for that is the divine. So when I say divine order, I just mean the organized chaos that we have as our reality while we're here on Earth. I hope that makes sense. It made sense in my head, but everybody learns a little bit differently. So let me know if you have another question. But so we talked a little bit, for those of you guys that joined a little bit late, we talked about the difference between intention setting and manifestation, as well as to-do lists, because one is very masculine based, the latter, and the intention setting, manifestation, and affirmations are very feminine based. And we also spoke about how masculine and feminine energy works in each person, as well as some great ideas on how you can set intentions and some examples of them and their purpose. So I hope you got a lot out of today's scope. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook. I'm the Jen Moff over there. Same thing on Twitter. And a good question, is God a man? I don't know that I have an answer for that. I think people that generally say they know exactly what God is may be putting God in a box. Because if, in fact, God exists in a way that makes sense to me, then there's no way to put him or her or it, in a box. I think a lot of times society and historically we've masculinized it due to patriarchy, but I don't know that it's a man like we think of a man. But good question. Good stuff to think about and wrestle with. So, my cat Cow and I are going to sign off for today. And if you guys need me, like I said, you can find me on Facebook or Twitter. I'm here on Periscope, same handle. And you can check me out on my website, thejenmoff.com. If you have any questions, email me at jen@thejenmoff, and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. Thanks, guys, so much for participating and asking questions. And Liz, it was good to see you. Jenny, it was nice to meet you. Star, if you're still here, good to meet you as well. And thanks, guys, again. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a kick-ass day.